Hello, I'm Brian Ades, and welcome to Primetime. This is a City Watch series about getting older. What's your plan? Do you have one? You're going to meet experts from every field who will address the issues that active and elder boomers and their loved ones face every day. I believe that to make good decisions, you need good information, and that is what this show will attempt to provide. Now, let's meet a celebrity turned advocate who is a symbol of the boomer generation. You may remember him as Jeff from the Donna Reed Show in the 50s and 60s. Today, Paul Petersen has become an expert on the topic of aging. For the last 10 years, he has hosted Aging in LA, and we welcome him here on Primetime. Tell me a little bit about who Paul Petersen is.
Well, I literally grew up in front of America. I had started a kid actor career with the Mouseketeers back in 1955. And then projects got bigger and bigger, and pretty soon I was on the Donna Reed Show, where I was for 8 years between age 12 and 20. So a lot of people in this country grew up with me. And then you have to find something useful to do with your life after a show like that goes off the air. And it took me a while to catch my balance and prepare myself for what came next, which was a writing career, 16 books altogether. And then I started a foundation called A Minor Consideration to help take care of former kid stars who were either down on their luck or facing real troubling issues. And that was 22 years ago, and it has evolved into kind of a clearinghouse for young celebrities who are now senior celebrities.
Today you are very active in working with and helping guide seniors through. Yes. What do you think? What age group do you think seniors are?
Well, speaking for myself at age 66, I fit the classical definition. But the truth is, the federal government for workers says anyone over 40 is a senior worker. But I think 50 is kind of the break point. It's when you really do begin to notice those impairments and limitations of age, and your circle of friends, suddenly you're hearing about people taking care of their aging parents. And life becomes a little more challenging because we have what we call a sandwich generation, where a young couple in their 40s have not only aging parents but kids in college. And these statistics. This is a brutally expensive time of life, especially if there are medical issues. And I backed into this, Brian. I was helping with my wife, who's a registered nurse, taking care of 5 elderly ladies in our family, all close to age 90. And when I started my show, Aging Well in LA, I went from just, I'm going to be a host and learn about these issues, to a person in need. All of a sudden, it's broken hips and a diagnosis of Alzheimer's and care facilities scattered all over the 5 counties. And I was so grateful the Department of Aging was there for me because I had someone to ask. It's very painful when you're dealing with seniors to always feel you're behind the curve. Why didn't I make these plans 3 months ago? Why didn't I look for alternative housing? Why wasn't I looking for non-medical in-home care?
As Americans, and especially in California, we are ahead of the nation in a lot of ways, it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, in a consciousness for living longer, healthier lifestyles, that the demographic of senior, it's in one way, growing up you have adolescents, teenagers, young adult. It almost feels like there's going to be demographic separations for the over 40, over 65. Do you see?
Without question. Oh, I'm seeing it face to face, especially in my work with the theatrical unions. Hollywood doesn't portray age very well, and a lot of performers kind of keep that wolf away from the door. Don't talk about age. Don't talk about medical ailments. It'll hurt my career. And you'd be amazed the number of people who come up to me in the boardroom of SAG or AFTRA and start to whisper, I'm taking care of Mom. I'm going, well, of course you are. There's millions of us doing that. Just looking at the numbers ought to give anyone pause. The boomers are coming into their senior years now.
Right.
And there's 80 million of them. That means somebody is turning 60 every 7 seconds. And most of those people, the pensions that they were promised are problematic these days.
Right.
They may have overextended themselves trying to help their children, or they may have care issues with their parents.
Right.
People are living into their 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And they're not all active.
To learn more about Paul and his projects, please visit paulpetersen.com. Remember, the property you own or the property you would like to buy should be carefully considered as part of an overall plan for your future. I'm Brian Ades from Sotheby's International Realty, and I'm here to help.